Of old shorty, just like
he got the old movies on the wall. He got
you got the shit posted with tape.
Nah, fuck
and
it,
all
man.
that
My
shit.
son trying to keep. You need to switch up off the beat off. You feel me? Maybe it's just a switch off for the beat off.
I'm not sure.
Why you wildin' like that?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe she contacted him and sent him some pictures. And
right, she maybe made him a board. I'm assuming there's other people on there.
Yeah,
maybe it might be. It looked like it might be a lot of her.
But then didn't they have a kid together?
It's kind of risky when you see like the yellow grass.
At this point, I'm going to jail. This is the mother of my child.
So Mariah the Scientist is the mother of his child.
It's the girl now.
And that's the other one there.
Oh, and then the mother
is the ex.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I don't know. His child is on the way right now too. Everything is going on with him. You know what I mean? So keep your head up.
Life is lifing.
It sure is.
It's fucking the shit out of everybody right now.
That's a fact, man.
She nice.
But what about your man though?
Free the homie.
Who? What about your man Vince McMahon?
Oh, not the homie. Sorry.
No bueno.
I ain't gonna lie, man.
I don't want it. I'd like
That nigga been
So that's what we doing. We canceling people as a whole.
Amongst the wrestlers
Who
or
we canceling?
employees. The World Wrestling Federation today.
This had niggas moving like clowns.
This is like 24 years ago, right? So they was already pressing him about sexual.
Oh, he still got some of his regular hairline on there. That's not on fake.
No, this is
That's some of his regular hair.
Yeah.
It's in 1992. One of his ex, like this guy that's talking to him right now, he was working with the WWE as like a ring announcer and shit like that. And he fired him because he had pressed him like, bro, there's a lot of like sexual assault shit happening in here, sexual misconduct and shit, and you turning a blind eye to it. He came on his show a couple years later, he pressed him on it, and now this female that was an ex-employee there, she accused him of that, and that's what's happening with him right now.
That's the whole canceling the...
This cancel culture is like weird, but so this is something that happened to her a long time ago. Or is this something that just recently happened to her?
Nah, she's an ex-employee. This is something that happened to her a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's what you mean by this cancel culture? Like people saying something that happened to them before?
No. Just
It
not
count-
before. No, it counts. It counts. I'm not saying that women. You could be 30 years from now. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that as a whole, no matter what people do and the accolades and the accomplishments, and they just rip all that away from them, and it's like
it doesn't matter.
No. The Bill Cosby, the R. Kelly.
So you still listen to R. Kelly?
I do.
Okay.
I love them songs. I don't listen to it.
I mean, once in a while. If it's like, I'm not going to it, but if it's in my playlist, I'm not going to see it.
Letting it rock?
Rocking.
Because you want to know something? It's the music I'm listening to. I'm not seeing him sing.
Right. And it was a time in my life that it got me through certain things. So like, talk about it.
You can believe you can
fly.
fly.
I believe I can fly. That got me through a lot of things. And so, yeah, I mean.
So
I don't feel like a whole people should be canceling people and because it's bullying.
The songs that he sung, most likely someone wrote it and he sung it, right?
Damn, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Kind of surprised by this take.
It is
right now, cause niggas fuck with R. Kelly.
Nah,
no,
because it's a Vince McMahon story about sex trafficking, and the
the
way that Tina coming at it.
No,
yeah, but sex trafficking is a different story,
she
though.
Answered
Sorry.
No, it's just surprising.
Kelly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not in a bad way.
That was the Kelly answer. That wasn't really towards the Vince.
Nah, because a lot of
not towards the events, because that happened. But there's a backstory, like how those kids were at his house. These are parents who are allowing, right? Because they're allowing their 21-year-old to be with 39-year-old, right? But not the same thing. It's like you're allowing your 13-year-old to be with a 22-year-old. So that is my thing. Like my child is not going to be. Quick story.
I
remember growing up
to happen.
Right. I remember growing up, and we used to have a lot of house parties. My family, Puerto Rican, everybody get together. We was in everybody's house every weekend, and everybody was drinking. They were smoking their joints in the room, whatever, and my mom used to come into the rooms and check us. And she was like, oh, and if somebody was sleeping, she was like taking out the coats, putting them, and she's like, oh, you got to be careful. And she always would come in. I'm like, Mom, we playing. We having a good time.
You never know.
Right. Mm-hmm. Long story short, not too long ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, we were talking with a couple of my cousins, and they mentioned how they were touched by certain people in the family, and I'm like, what? Like, it was so crazy, and I'm like, they like, you ever have it to you? I'm like, no. I'm like, my mom, I never stayed in nobody's house. My mom, she was, and not saying that can't happen if your parent is not right, but she was just so on point that she would have known a difference. So that's the thing. Like, you can't just be letting your kids. They're kids. That's why they're children. That's why they come from you, because you have to teach them. You have to train them. You have to show them the right way. And although we are probably not the most best humans or the best people, right? Because we were talking about that earlier, how we are some damaged and we are jaded by our upbringing or whatever. But you want to protect them as best as you could.
Thing I was gonna say, right? Your mother was listening to the buchunche and was like, "Oh, eso está pasando." So that when niggas pull up, nah, nigga, it's just being real. Because some people hear shit and be like, no va a hacer eso. No, ese es mi primo. Right?
My mother was like, it could be your next door neighbor. And we like, the next door neighbor. I'm like, Ma, it's John. And she's like, I don't care who it is. It could be your father. You don't sit in your father's lap. You don't sit in your uncle's lap. You don't go on people's shoulders. It was just certain things you don't, you sit like a lady, you cross your legs. You don't be kissing people. You don't ask your uncles for money. So it's like, you just, now I know as an adult, certain things that I don't do.
And mind you, what you said, don't ask your uncle for money. Mind you, there's other mothers. Get that money from your uncle. He got, tell that nigga to throw you something.
Right, and my cousins used to do that. And not saying that my uncles did anything to my cousins, but my cousins are a little bit dependent now. Now they look for men or certain things to fulfill, and like I'm like, nah, because my mother was like, if we ain't got it, you ain't got it. That's it. You know, you don't go out without no money. You don't, do certain things that is not in your pocket. You don't expect a man to take you on your first date to Capitoli Grill or whatever that shit is, but. Right, so if you're gonna go to Applebee's, you're gonna make sure you got your money too, so that you can pay your own bill. But these are things that we teach, and we don't have time to teach because we have other people teaching our kids, or getting money, or being singers, or whatever it is, the fame, and because that's a lot in Hollywood. But it's neither here nor there. Again, no judging. It's just like you just have to be, your third eye got to be open all the time.
Open. I mean, I don't know. I never been through nothing like as dramatic as that, like with a family member or somebody outside of my family in that type of predatory sex trap, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't tell people how to react. But sometimes I feel like what you're saying with the cancel culture shit, like you could have said something when it happened. You know what I'm saying? But now this is the not the wave, but this is something that people's doing right now to get people that's at a high level, because like you're saying, they worked hard to get to wherever they going, and then you just come out and be like, yo, he was throwing me around to wrestlers, but I was just showing you a video from 1992 that they was saying this same story, and that's like 30 years ago.
I feel like that too, like, not saying that they can't come out years later. However, it's like, when these things are happening to people, right? Sometimes you hold it in because you're afraid. You hear the stories. I watch a lot of Law and Order, and you hear that the girls don't want to say because they feel like it was their fault. Yeah. And so that could be it, right? So we don't want to take that away from them. But when you look at these people who were in these vicinities and in these places, they were getting money, they were partying, like with Bill Cosby. Them girls was drinking, partying, probably sniffing, whatever it is that they were doing. And then he was like, oh, let her hear a little extra. Not saying that was right, but at this time you were receiving these benefits, and now you're not receiving the benefits. So that's where I kind of like wavy with that, because like you saying, it could be, after all this time, now all of a sudden, you ain't got the bag, and now you want some money because you see all these other people wanting money. It kind of waves in your head.
So what about like the Epstein shit?
Nah, that's weird. It's a whole bunch of shit going on there.
Mad different shit going on there, but there's a lot of
But what they try to do, definitely. But what they try to do with Michael Jackson, they try to put all that, and it was one kid. If you look at his record, it was one kid, and they pressed him, and he said no, and the parent was there with the kid, and yes, he did have a lot of kids in his area. Yes, but he was himself felt like he was the kid. But there's no one that could come out. They even try to make Macaulay Culkin come out, but it's just like, especially when you're high ranked and you're, for me, when you're black or brown, you're a target. That's it. It's just what it is. We see it now with P. Diddy. Whether they were holding him down this whole time or whatever, call or back, you know,
right,
whatever they have going on there. People were talking about the things that he was doing, and
but that's all right. So
sorry, I'm jumping.
No.
I'm double dutching
because I don't want to say that you were standoffish. You were standoffish to the topic, like when you saw it, but that's why I like bringing these topics up when I have multiple people on the show, because you get different point of views. You know what I'm saying?
Which one? With McMahon?
The Vince McMahon shit, because it's like I didn't know that you was gonna come off with that, and then it leads to this. You know what I'm saying? So
yes. And
I thought it was just gonna be like, yeah, he nasty. Like,
oh, that's it. Vince McMahon.
I mean, like, he always been like that.
Right.
He's like a creep,
right? Like, so
even he has issues with his daughter.
With that being said, like back then, right?
I was just watching Vince McMahon versus Stephanie McMahon.
It's crazy. Like back then, you gotta understand. Like back then was just like partying, drinking, drugs. You know, you go out with your girls. That was a life. You know that you're in the limelight of these celebrities, right? So you don't take into consideration that, okay, you know, I know my limit. I know this and that. I know when I go out, I don't really drink at all. Like, my limit is 2. If I get to 3, like, I might feel it, whatever. But once I feel like
you wavy,
like, I just stop. Right. Because I know
but
that
desperate times call for desperate measures. So certain people will put themselves in those predicaments so that they can gain. You know, we were talking about gaining, giving and receiving, and some people are just there to receive. And
let me ask you a question. Ask y'all.
If I drink more than 3 cups, please put me in an Uber home, please, because I might do something terrible.
That's good. See, look at that. You're responsible. Yeah, if I
drink two full shots, 2 full shots,
2 shot daddy in the
it's
spot.
A wrap.
He out.
They saw.
Keep it a band. I drink at places where I could sleep at.
Yeah.
If I slept there before, I'll drink there. No problem. Because I know niggas know that couch is mine tonight. That's it.
So wait, what y'all drinking?
I drink Douce.
Nice.
Tequila, Patron.
What's your choice?
So
yeah, don't give me some cheap shit.
Like, what's your choice to drink? Like, what's your
I'm just saying, don't give me no cheap shit.
You can tell Chun Chun don't drink like that, because she like.
I don't, because I okay, honestly, like.
She said, which one was the pink one?
She like exactly.
Like,